going too fast. I'm taking 3.
I'm going for the St. Louis now.
Oh, no.
Son of a bitch.
You get your 2?
Yeah. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thotgor here, of course, and today 2 video clips. First one we're looking at is in the Cleveland. Yes, I know, it occurred to me that I hadn't shown many Cleveland replays as of late, I should say. And we got some old timely music here in the background to help us through the episode as well. Basically, all the reason why I'm showing the video is because I haven't shown a Cleveland replay. I mean, it is still a good replay. We do end up winning it here at the end, and the overall results for me are pretty great. But mainly as well, it was a team effort overall by all of us that helped ensure this victory. Just an update here on the from the previous episode I put up talking about whether or not I'd get the Thotgor or the German Tier 7 cruiser first. Well, I did take the responses that I got back in the comments. However, I had spent a lot of time saving up all those credits for the Thotgor, so I did actually buy the Thotgor last night. It's sitting in my port now at this time, but what's going to happen is I am going to get the Tier 7 German cruiser next, and I'm only maybe 6 million away. Well, maybe less. 6 million. We'll say I'm about 6 million away from it right now. I just need the credits. I've got the experience for it, so that's not a big deal. So we'll have some replays and some videos of the Tier 7 German cruiser coming up in the next few days. Also, thank you for everyone leaving comments and feedback on what ship I should get next. That's always appreciated. So yeah, let's get into the battle here. So you can see in the Cleveland, playing alone today on Solomon Islands. So I am going towards the north. This is typical Thotgor move, right? I always go to the north. I don't know, I just like fighting up here better than the south, and the middle tends to be a meat grinder. Unfortunately for me, coming up the middle here, well at this point anyway, unfortunately, is that I only have 3 other allies with me. The remainder of my allies did go to the center point, and they went to the south as well, so you could probably make the argument that maybe coming up here isn't such a great idea, but I do it anyway. There is an enemy aircraft carrier, and luckily because of the high arc of the American shells, I can shoot right over this island and start landing shells into them before I have any other targets to start firing at. So that was awesome as well. You know, I do hit a few of those shots, maybe. Yeah, there we go. Nice Citadel. And there's a Nuremberg. So the Nuremberg pops up, so I gotta, get off the carrier and start focusing on the ships that are in and around me. I'm shooting high explosive into them. Things were happening really quick here at this point, so I wasn't really switching between ammo types. I don't know, Cleveland and all, I always do tend to fire HE in it. But I mean, doesn't always happen that way. There's the enemy aircraft carrier again, putting more shots into him. And I've got the Pensacola out there, right? So I mean, be aware of this guy. He's firing at me. My health is going down. And yeah, so just put more shots into that guy as well. You can see I'm circling away from the north now at this time. It's not that, I have plans of retreating, it's just getting back behind this island, this little landmass over there, to use that as cover against any of the ships that may be hiding on the other side of that island. I want to limit the number of ships that can actually shoot at me, and when you're in this sort of situation, I would, again, recommend make use of cover as best you can always. It's there to use, so why not use it? It's not really hard to use, actually. You just need to be aware. I find the hardest part about using cover, frankly, is running into the goddamn island. Yeah, I always run into these islands, but oh well. Looking at the minimap, you can see that my team has now capped the B point in the south, so that's great. The enemy is capping we have capped the A point in the south, yes. The enemy is capping the B point in the center, and we are still contesting the C point here in the north. We're just sort of battling out at this time. Again, I'm doing circles around this little landmass, the island that's sticking out here. Doing circles, shooting at whatever I can shoot, leveraging the fact that my American shells have a high firing arc, so I can fire over this island at relatively close ranges to the island. So using that to my my advantage. Out pops an enemy ship from around the corner. This was a bad move by this guy. It sure was. This Cleveland here, he's about to get some good news from me. There we go. Shots are going in. But you can see that he's not alone, right? We need to be aware of the other ships that did come around that headland with him as well. And I don't have torpedoes on the Cleveland, so it's not like I can focus on this Cleveland and take out that other enemy ship there. So I have to turn with the Cleveland, so we're now broadside, firing into each other, and this was intense. I was sure that I was going to die right here. I was positive, actually. This was like my last-ditch move, you know, and it wasn't really thinking, just I'm taking this guy down with me. I end up killing him, which is fantastic. That was my first kill, and now we need to focus back on the other enemy who came around with him. We're looking at him here. It is a New Mexico. So I need to start putting shots into this guy. Luckily as well though, I've got allies around me who are distracting them. Unfortunately, my Colorado, I think it was Colorado, just died. But he did take an enemy with him, so that's alright. And now I know New Mexico is really the biggest threat here in this point. In the meantime, the Allied team was able to take the B cap point. Yes, so now we have A and B, and we're contesting C, trying to get this last New Mexico gone. I'm on very, very low health, though. I paid a big price for killing that Cleveland. It was worth it, I'd say. But now I've just got to be aware of how low health I am. So I don't want to show my broadside to this New Mexico, because the New Mexico can just destroy me without, you know, even thinking about it. It can just be a lucky shot and I'm gone. So by driving away from, or well, sailing away from him like this, or steaming away from him like this, I'm presenting as small a target as possible, limiting the chance he has of hitting me, and limiting the chance he has of getting a Citadel hit on me, because that is what I do not need. It's one thing to have a shot come in, ricochet, and do maybe 470 damage. It is a totally other thing to have a shot come in and do a Citadel hit to you. New Mexico is burning away. Look at him go. There he's gone. Ally gets the kill. Fantastic. So really, all we have to focus on at this point is the remainder of the enemy ships, because we do have the cap advantage. So it's, you know, we've got A, we've got B. It's not necessarily a big thing now for us to go and get the C point. Here is an enemy destroyer remaining from the enemies that had pushed the C point and have taken the C point. So I want to be aware of this guy, and I want to try and do what I can to get him gone as soon as I can, because if you look at the minimap and you notice that really, it's just me in between this destroyer and my aircraft carriers. I'm not going to hang my aircraft carriers out to dry and just throw them under the bus, no. I turn and make course directly for the destroyer. And I just keep putting shots into him. Every time he pops up, putting shots into him, trying to do whatever damage I can to him in hopes that I can get this guy gone and maybe save some of our aircraft carriers. So that first salvo that went in there did manage to do some damage to him, but he repaired it. So now I know that any additional salvos that I put into him and any additional critical damage I might do to him, he's not going to be able to repair this right away. So this is good, always excellent to be aware of. You do see he fired off a round of torpedoes. A full salvo of torpedoes has gone off for our aircraft carrier. So that is unfortunate. Here comes aircraft carrier torpedoes, however. The destroyer is burning and it looks like he's dead in the water. There we go. Enemy aircraft carrier takes him out. Or sorry, allied aircraft carrier takes him out, so that's great. Now, looking around, you can see that on the southern point of the map, my teammates down there have kind of stalled out, right? They're just sort of protecting that A cap, the A cap point. They're not pushing beyond it and going around the corner, or at least not making an aggressive move around the corner, which is kind of disappointing. It kind of disappointed me anyway at this point in the battle, because I didn't want to have to carry the team to victory. I have no problems with carrying the team to victory, as long as I have a reasonable amount of hit points remaining. Unfortunately, I do not have a reasonable amount of hit points remaining, so this creates a bit of an issue for me, bit of an internal struggle, I guess. And you can see I'm kind of hesitating as to which direction I want to go, but I do end up deciding, yeah, we're going to keep pushing the C point. Because, you know, what I can see from the minimap looks like the majority of the enemy ships are at the bottom at the A point. I'm getting all my points mixed up, aren't I? Yeah. So, the enemy ships are all at the bottom by A. There doesn't seem to be too many enemies up here at C, except for these two guys, so yeah, alright, I'll try and get C, do what I can. I noticed that these guys here, though, are, you know, they're fairly close to C, and they are going to be an issue for me. There's a friendly destroyer, so yeah, chances got a little better. I'm actually going to get out of the cap at this point. I'm not going to stick around because I would have had to make a turn and come around this headland, exposing my broadsides to those enemies, and probably die. So not something I'm looking and thrilled to do. Instead, I'm going to let my ally destroyer and my ally Miyoko right there, we're going to let them go around the island first and do whatever they can to the enemy. I took a fairly big hit there anyway, and I have just over 1,000 hit points left, and it might be 1,100 hit points left, so can't take any more hits. Fortunately for me, I do have some good teammates. That Miyoko, you know, can't talk good enough about him. I'm assuming I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, and I'm going to say that he made this play to save me. Because I'm sure you're sitting there and going, what's the luck of that, Thotgor? You know, this guy could just be a big idiot and just come around the corner. Nope, I'm going to give him benefit of the doubt. He's doing it to save me while I'm shooting at this other enemy, Cleveland, who's almost dead. My friendly destroyer is still here with us as well, and he's working over the enemies as well with torpedoes as he can. And then we have this New Mexico who has grounded himself. While all of this is going on, we continue to put pressure on this C point. You can see now we've capped it, so that's great. We are losing the A point in the south, and we've lost the B point in the center. We still do have the overall point advantage, but it's... I'm not going to say it's anyone's game at this point, but, you know, we could lose it. If we don't play smart, we could lose this whole thing here. So, you know, something you want to be aware of as well. Don't, you know, unless the points is like 980, probably best idea not to tell yourself we've got this and we're going to win. Try right up until the end. You never know. Crazy things can happen. There's an enemy destroyer once again, so I try to get some shots into him, but unfortunately, I am just too close to this island. I just can't get my guns over it. Fortunately though, I do maneuver around, and now you can see I am able to start getting shots over it and into the enemy destroyer, which is always great. These destroyers are a huge threat, and we need to get them gone when we see them, especially when you're in a cruiser, you know. Killing off these enemy destroyers is kind of your job. Yes, it is. When you see an enemy destroyer and you're in a cruiser, that is your target, especially if it's the closest thing to you. You know, if it's not the closest thing to you and is way off in the distance, then yeah, probably it's fine not to start shooting it right away. But in this situation, I mean, not only is he fairly close to me, but he's the only target I have to shoot at, so yes, that is my objective. Enemy destroyer. This is the New Mexico again. He's still rearing his ugly head around this island. I don't know what was going through this guy's mind. He's probably in panic mode at this time, right? Where he grounded himself, managed to get away with it. Now he's turning around just to get out of this whole situation. Try not to die. We have the C point, so I'm not going to stick around here because in the meantime we did manage to lose the A point, and like I had mentioned earlier, we lost the B point. So I'm going to try and take a cap here to give ourselves the cap advantage again, so we can continue to you know, lead in overall points. It is still fairly close. Yes, the enemy team only has 4 ships left. One of them is an aircraft carrier, and we've got 6 ships left. One of ours is an aircraft carrier, but doesn't mean we can just, you know, throw in the, doesn't mean we can just, you know, declare victory and that the enemy can throw in the towel. No. You can see that in chat we are communicating, you know, try and take the B cap point. Someone's going to need to get another cap, and so I acknowledge that I'm on my way, but I could use some help. And it's true, I can use some help. Look at my hit points. I do not need to be the center of focus and do not want to die. I've already had a few allies save me so far. You know, I'm pushing my luck here, and I don't want to push it any further because I'm not sure how much further I can push it. Enemy ship off in the distance who rounded the point by A. I'm moving into B now, and I'm starting to cap B. In the meantime, I am able to get some shots off into this guy over here. I believe it's a Pensacola, but my shots don't get there in time, and luckily my allies' torpedoes do end up finishing off the Pensacola. At least I believe they do. Maybe it was a torpedo bomber that comes in. I'm not sure. Anyway, doesn't matter. I don't have to deal with him. He's on really low health. And I'm capping the B points. So that's great. 2 enemy ships remain. One of them is an aircraft carrier, the other one is the cruiser down there that I thought is dead, but he's not dead yet. It's the Pensacola, still alive. So there's the aircraft carrier, alright. We've got his location down. I've capped the B point, so I'm good to get out of this B point now. I can still see my friendly destroyer up there in front of me, so he came down from the C point. And yeah, now we're just going to sort of group up and try and take out the carrier before the battle ends, because you can notice the enemy aircraft carrier is now the last ship remaining. Yes, so we do win this battle. You know, and it was a really good battle because, again, the teamwork involved. I love seeing the teamwork here like this. It wasn't necessarily coordinated as much as it could have been in chat, but it still really worked out for us. So 280,000 credits, 4,100 experience is what I end up with. I am top of the team overall, which was surprising. I didn't think I'd actually get to that position, given the limited damage that I actually did in this battle. End up walking away again with over 200,000 credits, so that's always a good time. Here is a battle now in my Nuremberg. You can see I'm on New Dawn, and I am in a division today with Razio and... no. Wait, who is in the division? I need to remember. It's Hakuru, anyway. He's a Jag in the clan here, and I think... Cobrelli. Yes, Cobrelli. There we go. Alright, he is a Twitch streamer, yes. So check out his Twitch stream as well. It took me a little while on the names there. I'm not great with names. But anyway, managed to get it. So Akuru and Cobrelli. There we go. So we're on New Dawn, right? In the Nuremberg, and wanting to kick some ass, basically. I really am enjoying this Nuremberg. I really do enjoy it at tier 6, and in fact, I'm having more fun in my Nuremberg than I am in the Cleveland. Yes, and that's contributes to the reason why we haven't seen a lot of Cleveland matches lately. It's because I haven't played my Cleveland a whole lot as of late. I've always been playing my money makers, you know, the Marblehead, the Turpits, and then my Japanese ships, the destroyers and cruisers is what I've been playing a lot. And as an off ship is definitely the Nuremberg here, you know, trying to get as much experience in it as I possibly can, as quick as I can, so I can get to the tier 7 as fast as humanly possible. So today's plan is more or less focus on the B cap point, but leaving the option open to run up to A, because my allies are going to go to A, and that's where I want to go and help support them. Not only allies on the team, but members of the division. That's where we had decided on TeamSpeak where they were going to go. I had mentioned that I'd be staying to the south of B, and so in this position in the south of B, not only can I help support B itself by taking and capping that point, but I'm in a good position to move around on the battlefield if need be and really use the flexibility of my cruiser. The Nuremberg here, so it's not the fastest cruiser. It has the same top speed of a Cleveland, in fact, at 32 knots. So it's, you know, not a bad speed. I don't find it as fast as I want it to be. I like having at least 35 knots in terms of speed to work with, but I'll take the 32 because what the Nuremberg does have is amazing, fantastic range. At 16.5 kilometer range on the guns, the speed isn't really that big of an issue because you can get close enough, quick enough that you can start putting shots into them. You can see the Cleveland over there did just take some friendly torpedoes. Yes, I believe maybe the Karl Shrew there in the background shot off some torpedoes and actually hit the Cleveland, so that was great. We had a good laugh at that. Continuing to put shots into the Cleveland, and you'll notice I've got armor piercing loaded for obvious reasons. You have great penetration on these shells on this ship, so you know, if you're facing off against a light cruiser and you're 10 kilometers or less away from them, yeah, load up armor piercing, no question about it. 10 kilometers or more away, I still tend to use armor piercing. However, that being said, there is no harm in using high explosive at those ranges. In fact, I should probably be using high explosive at those ranges just because you'll probably do more damage, have a better chance of doing critical damage, setting fires, and you know, more damage over time, basically. Alright, so we're coming around the island here. My high explosive is queued up. because I did see some destroyers that I wanted to deal with. So that's loading up now, but in the meantime I'm taking some shots at the New Mexico there in the background. Taking a look around to see where we are as a team, it looks like we have capped the A point. There are some ships contesting that A point, however, so be aware of those. We have not yet taken the B point, but we have taken the C point as well. So good, we have 2 of the points. Really need to take the B point though, I think. I don't like having the north and the south point without having the middle point. Because it makes it really hard to defend and hold these 2 north and south points, because essentially now the team is completely divided along the north and southern lines, whereas if you have either the north or the south, one of those points and the middle point is a lot easier for your team to stay together and support each other as need be. Here's a New York off in the distance, so I'm pumping shells into him. I have my high explosive loaded because it's a battleship. I probably could have done decent damage to him with the armor piercing, but to be frank, I really wanted to set this guy on fire. I was looking for fire damage against the New York. I just find that it's probably fairly obvious, but I just find it's better to use your high explosive against these battleships when you have lower caliber guns in a cruiser or destroyer, because the fire damage that you're going to do is just amazing. You really want it, and the battleship drivers get fairly irritated with the whole thing. They tend to panic, make mistakes, and it's very fun to see them panic, make mistakes, and then take advantage of those mistakes. Yes. So not too bad at all. There we have my ally Haku. There he is there. I think I'm saying that right. H-A-K-U, Haku, yeah. There he is there, and we are both pounding away at this New York. We want to get him gone, because essentially if we can get this New York gone, then there are no other enemy ships in this northern part of the map, which leaves us open to swing around, take out some carriers, do some more damage on the rear lines of the enemy. In the meantime, though, my ally that I have, the divisions I have with me, they are not stupid. Cobrelli has gone into the B cap point and capped it, so excellent. In the meantime, we did lose the southernmost cap point C, so that's gone, but whatever, it doesn't matter. I do manage to finish off the New York there, at least get the killing blow, so there's 1 kill for me now. Not too bad at all. Now the New York is gone, like I was saying, the northern part of this map is essentially open for us to maneuver around, find their carrier, take out any enemy ships from the rear that we want. So I'm closing in on the B cap point. I'm doing this to close the distance as quickly as possible for the enemy ships, because I figured that I would be now pushing through the B point into C. Didn't count on circling around the island because I can't see any of the enemy ships that are over there yet. Bit of a drink. None of this plays out though, because you can see we have some torpedo bombers right there. Obviously this tells me there's an aircraft carrier left. Yeah, I can see it up there. I know that. But he is fairly close to us now. So I'm going to start turning and moving away from the B cap point. Yeah. I'm not actually going to push through and go to the south like I thought. You can see that even though I'm fairly far away from the firing lines, I still have the range to be able to contribute to those battles. So I'm putting shots into that destroyer off in the distance. There's my ally. Couldn't believe that Haku didn't die there. He got really lucky in that Murmansk. Actually, I think that's the second torpedo he ate this match. Oh yeah, surprised us all. Now, taking a look around, right, I more or less have the plan in mind of continuing straight. We're going to come over here, we're going to hunt down the enemy aircraft carrier or any other ships that might be around. We do see the destroyer, right? He popped up right there. But just because this is the plan that I have doesn't mean I'm going to stick to it without question, right? Take a look around. Take a look to see what's going on. Adjust your plans accordingly. Don't just stick to one plan. It probably won't work out well for you. Some cases it definitely will. There's always a chance it will. There is the enemy aircraft carrier. It's a Bogue. He is very slow. He has no chance of all of getting away from us. Need to be aware, though, of the ships he has supporting him, or at least attempting to support him, right? This What is that? There's a cruiser and no, it's 2 destroyers. Yeah, we need to be aware of these 2 destroyers. So there's the Isakaze. Put shots into him. I still have my high explosive loaded, so that's great. Don't need to switch between it. I mean, even in this cruiser, though, I have found that you can definitely use armor piercing against your destroyers. But on a whole, I'm pretty sure I'm going to keep to that high explosive here. The second destroyer is gone. An allied ship did finish him off, so that was great. There goes the second destroyer, Isakaze, and that is my second kill. So fantastic. Now we just need to deal with the enemy aircraft carrier. While this was going on, though, unfortunately Haku did die. Yes, unfortunately, the Murmansk is gone. Can't believe it, though. He took 2 torpedo hits and was able to survive. Oh man, that was amazing. In terms of points, though, you can see we're winning this battle. It's almost over. We just really need to finish off the enemy aircraft carrier, maybe another ship, and we have it. So putting shots into the aircraft carrier, there's no way he's getting away from me. You can see I'm doing, setting fires, getting citadels on him, getting lots of hit combos on him here as well. There goes one last salvo from myself, which does a bunch of damage to him, and an allied finishes him off. That is awesome. Was it Cobrelli? I'm questioning the names of the allies now that I have. Nope, we're going to have to stop it. I have to take a look. Right, so, as you may or may not know, sure that many of you do know, I am an idiot. It's actually Haku and did it for the lulz, yes. so sorry there, did it for the lulz. Yes. Those were the 2 I was playing with, man. Only figured it out once the battle was almost over, right? Doesn't matter. There's my 3rd kill, so fantastic. And we're just finishing up here at this point. I mean, look at this. The enemies don't really have much of a chance at all. The enemy aircraft carrier is gone. Did it for the lulz who got the enemy aircraft carrier, actually. There goes another enemy cruiser. 900 and what is that? 78 points remain, or 78 points that we have. Oh, it's over. They have 2 enemy ships remaining. Yeah, they can't do anything. But this was another great battle because of the teamwork we had. This time I wasn't in a division, so it was easier to get that teamwork, right? Me supporting the B, my allies going to A, and then did it for the lulz, came back and capped B when we needed it. So that was really great. 3rd overall in the team, and walk away with some credits and some experience, which is much needed. Need the credits anyway, not so much the experience. As I mentioned, the Tier 7 cruiser is coming shortly. So hopefully you didn't mind my fuck up there with the whole names of my division, but I got it. At the end, I got it. Thank you very much for watching the video through. Leave any comments you have for me. Love reading those. Hit the old like button if you like the video as well. And, of course, hit subscribe if you're not a subscriber as of yet. As always, folks, I do thank you very much for watching the video. Thanks for your time, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.